Most people are gonna fail in their goals. Most people do. It's facts. The ones that actually achieve their New Year's resolutions are the ones that are persistent. It's inevitable that you'll fail. I failed multiple times, time and again. More times than I can count. I started this sober journey back in 2018, and the longest I've been able to go sober was just shy of 60 days. So I'm currently at the longest I've been sober in the past five years. But I didn't let that stop me. If I did, then I could see my life going to a point where I would be depressed. You'll fail. You'll fail in hitting your New Year's goal. But you gotta be persistent. If your goal is to get sober and you break that sobriety, just get back on it. Don't binge. Life's too short. Life's hard. The world's a competitive place out there, and the more you give yourself a pity party, the more you will regret it and the more you will be behind in life. Just try your best. That's all you can do. Failure is inevitable, and failure isn't a bad thing, but it's how we face failure that will ultimately determine who we will be once we grow up, or who we will be in time. Now, there are two types of failures. Number one is the type of person where once they face failure, they overcome it. They get back up and they try again. And on the other hand, was me. Every time I would face failure, I would binge. And what I mean by that is every time I would try going on a no-fap streak, or every time I would try giving up weed and I would fail, I would binge. I would tell myself, okay, I failed. I'm going to live in my failure for who knows how long, and then try again. And the biggest difference between these two things is time. The amount of time that I've wasted is exponential. There was nothing wrong with my failure. What was wrong was the amount of time I spent drowning myself in the failure. It's okay if I failed and I smoked weed. But the terrible part was when I lived in that sadness, when I continued to smoke weed because I already messed up. One day, yes, it's bad, but it's not so bad. But if one turns into two, turns into a week, turns into a month, then at that point, that's an entire month that I lost out on. While player A, he's only lost one day. I am trying to go through life, trying to transform myself into player A. Because I know that as I continue to go through life, I will face many more failures. And this is my journey.
I feel like I am the last person who should be giving advice in regards to how to deal with failure. But if there's one thing that I've learned is as soon as you fail, take some time to reflect. Just sit down without any distractions. Spend about 10-15 minutes on what just happened. Why did you fail? What can you do better? How can you improve? I failed so many times in the past, and I would keep making the same mistakes over and over again because I never really took the time to reflect. As silly as it is, the world is a very, very noisy and distracting place, and doing something as simple as sitting in silence, which I don't do often at all, is extremely beneficial for you. So we'll end the day here because I am tired and I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow, and I want to make sure that I make it a productive day. I don't want to fail. I want to succeed. And this is my journey. If you made it this far, I have nothing but love for you. Good night.